always a good time to talk some sports. Let's stir this motherfucker up and get started. Let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. MyT Sports. Listen, I don't know what's going on here, but as long as I can still see shit is functioning here, then listen, it don't even matter. Remember, the phone lines are open. So let's do what we always like to do with on our podcast these days, right? Let's go ahead and start getting our birthday shout-outs out there. Yeah, it's time for you to check this out, right? Who's that coming through? Oh, that's Jackie Fliss. What's going on, Jackie? You missed it. Let's get our birthday shout-outs, right? Because, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it. So I heard you had a party and you didn't invite nobody. Yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it. We only got one birthday on the docket, right? And that's not even, we don't even have one for today. That was on June 1st, folks. We got a birthday for a homie of mine named Rachel Denby. She no longer lives down here in the South Florida area. If I do recall, or if I do say so myself, you may recognize her when I was doing the MyT Women's Sports page. I believe that she was the first silhouette that I used. I asked her permission. She gave me her grace and her blessing to be able to use one of her silhouettes. And all it was a silhouette of her flexing, and all you can see is her back. And I put that into a silhouette for the MyT Women's sports page. Until I switched it up to if you guys are still following, the yoga instructor that we have now in Cologne, to my sensei. But yeah, that was Rachel Denby. It was actually she happened to be the first one on that, so I want to say happy birthday. We've sat here plenty of times, like having all kinds of intellectual conversations, and then after that she happened to leave. But good friend of mine. So since you're the only one that we have wished happy birthday to, right? Let's go to make sure that you get the birthday that you deserve. Okay? And so again, yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. Check it, yeah. Check it. So for Rachel, we want you to party hard. We hope you enjoy everything, regret nothing, and forever remember to stay MyT. I told you, man, this was a short one today. Listen, thank you for everybody that decided not to. No, a joke, man. But I'm kind of serious. Thank you, everybody that decided not to have a birthday within the past couple of days, right? Since Monday. Because that allowed us to run through the birthday shout-outs for today, which means that we get more sports talk for you, and the sports talk is real heavy today. Because like I said, you guys know, ayo, DJ MyT, cut that beat. Because you guys already know I like to start off every podcast with some Knicks talk. You know I like to stay heavy with the Knicks talk. But we're not doing that today, right? I'm not coming through with the Knicks talk today. Not that I'm not coming through the Knicks talk today. I'm not starting off with the Knicks talk today. Because here I am, right? Today's my day off for the most part. So I'm sitting here, I'm pod prepping. I wake up, I should say. My first thought in my mind is I'm a pod prep. Let me figure out what's going on with the NBA, what's going on in the sports world. I think Trae Young is a bitch. I can't even stand him anymore right now. And why the fuck is Reggie Miller calling this game? And I have to figure out what camera view that is that he constantly start using. Cause that shit is dope. Like even when they was just focusing on the backboard, that shit is dope. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. This is one of those days. What's going on, guys? This is one of those days that I'm kind of glad I am watching the Knicks while doing the podcast, right? Because look at Reggie. Look at the only Reggie that mattered, Reggie Bullock, the greatest Reggie in NBA history, right? Damn, he got 12 points, all of them 3-pointers. He's 4-4, 5 from 3, taking a total of 7 shots taken. Now, this is actually one of those games I'm actually glad that I'm watching the game with, because they have Reggie Miller announcing this game. And if I wasn't doing the podcast, I would be listening to this game on silent anyway. Thank you for the love, And that's because, ultimately, I can't stand listening to Reggie Miller's voice. And I consider it complete blasphemy that for any national televised games, that Reggie Miller should be allowed to call a Knicks game. So I can't listen to it. I can't do it. So even without the podcast going on today, right? Even without the podcast going on today, I would have looked at this game and I would have completely said to myself, right, after this game that, you know what? That I am not listening to this crap. I refuse to. You can't make me. You're not the boss of me. Like you understand? Like I'm smoking boom in the whole nine. Like that kind of shit. Like I am not taking that. Like Knicks fans should not be put through that kind of torture to listen to Reggie Miller be the one to announce the game for your team. No. Because every time something goes wrong, and he has to put in his little 2 cents, you see, that's why the Knicks are blah, 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 blah. And you see, this is blah, 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 blah. And this is what you need, blah, blah. And like, I don't want to hear that shit from him because none of that shit sounds like he's analyzing the game. It just sounds like he's taking shots at the Knicks. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys, like, listen, I almost kicked my girlfriend out today because she was taking shots at the Knicks. Like, I ain't kick her out for real. Like, let's let you guys know. I'm not an absolute barbarian. But she had shit to do today, and you know she was talking shit about my Knicks, and I was like, yo, you can leave now if you want, you know what I mean? Like you can just go ahead and like get ready and leave, like just go ahead and grab your purse, you know, grab your phone, grab yourself a J, and go ahead and start your day, because I ain't gonna let you sit here and talk about the Knicks, no how, no way. You understand? Like so that's the kind of thing that we had to worry about. That's what we had going on earlier today. Right? But we're back now. And even with all that going on, Knicks game, right? Me almost becoming single again over sports. Yeah, that's starting to be a running theme, right? Like almost every other day that I come on the podcast, I'm like, yo, sports almost made me single. Like, this is a good thing though. It's alright, it's just like this is a good thing. It's a good thing that that basketball is almost over, right? And yo, that camera view impresses me every fucking time. Right? Basketball is almost over. Right? And the podcast is almost over. We're in the last 60 days. In the last 60 days of this season, we're going to be finishing up the very last Friday of July. And then we won't be back until Labor Day. Or whatever that is. Yeah, we won't be back until Labor Day. So we'll have like about a 5-week break. It's going to be a very quick turnaround. Listen, basketball and football players aren't the only ones feeling it. You know, us hosts, us commentaries, you know what I mean? Us pundits, us podcasters, us broadcasters. Like, we're feeling it too. Like, we're feeling that shit too, B. You know what I mean? Like, here I am. Like normally I get a nice little lengthy layoff, you know, from my birthday all the way into September. I get about a 2-month break, you know what I mean? Then now I'm be lucky to get 4 weeks. Like, I gotta cut my time in half. But you ain't gonna see me there complaining. You ain't gonna see me talking about, yo, I'm gonna have to load manage like these podcasts. Like, no, you gonna see me come out here. I'm gonna truck that shit, right? We see Trae Young goes to the lane with a little floater, and he gets nothing. And at halftime, the Knicks are losing 52-47. And I'm telling you right now, they just don't have. Oh shit! Yo, they should give Trae Young a technical. Trae Young over here called somebody from the New York Knicks a bitch. I saw that. He said, "Yo, you's a bitch." Oh shit! Look at that. And somebody else just bumped the shit out of Trae Young. Let's see. Nothing there. Nothing. Oh, because Julius... I see what happened. Julius Randle... Oh, we got Chillwood on the... Oh, shit. Chillwood just snuck into the podcast. I mean, he got me on speakerphone, it sounds like, because I can hear myself. No, he may be close. He may be close to the thing. I don't think Chillwood's like that anymore. Chillwood knows better. But let's go ahead and welcome Chillwood to the podcast properly.
You drop takes, don't you? You drop takes, don't you?
Sir, yes, sir!
Well, if you gonna drop takes, you might as well go ahead and drop them exhibitions.
Don't banana at that bitch!
Cleveland! This is for you!
What's going on, Will? You're the first drunk uncle to make it to the podcast today. We feel Chill Will just muted himself. He's getting himself together. We'll get to Chill Will in a second. So right now, this is what we have for the next game, and I'll go ahead and I'll get to the breakdown of that. And I'm telling you, with all of this talk going on, Knicks talk, me almost becoming single over sports, and the New York Knicks aren't even the topic that's leading sports today. Because here I am, I'm waking up. Right, I'm letting all the information start to flow in. I start thinking to myself, hey, what are we going to talk about today on the podcast, right? And while I'm sitting here taking a shit, you know what I get? I get a nice little shitty nugget from a team that I hate. Right, I got a breaking news alert, folks. And I'm talking about, like, this is the kind of spicy little nugget that when you get, you're like, you know what? Thank you, sports gods, for giving us this today. Of all days, just giving us it today. We'll talk about during a 3-hour podcast because, man, we can always use anything. I think KJ is finally making himself here. I can hear doors opening and closing in the background. So what ended up happening was that the Boston Celtics ended up making some major management changes, right? And this is after the Boston Celtics was embarrassed, folks, completely embarrassed by the Brooklyn Nets, being sent home 4-1 after they lost their series 123-109. Don't worry, we have something for those losers a little bit later, obviously. Oh, who is this? Oh, shit, we got KJ in the building. Welcome to the podcast, KJ.
I was just here.
That's what he says, but there's no visual evidence.
I was just here because my cup was over here.
There's no visual evidence. There's no audio evidence. You know what I mean? Like, there was even a present left on the chair. That present is still there. You know what I mean?
It's probably, it looks like some fake ass, what's it called, bounty hunt stuff that you put in the water. Oh, no. I'm not having this.
Is this a Rice Krispie treat?
No, I don't trust you. It might be something else.
Well, I mean, of course it's something else. But it's just a Rice Krispie treat. It's just another treat for the podcast breakfast.
I'll let Mark have that.
Something for you guys to share.
No, I'll let Mark have that shit.
How many of us have them? Friends.
I'll let Mark have that shit.
Trees. Hey, let me get a piece of that. Hey, let me get a piece.
You
I get this name.
But I got
break it off.
I'll break you up a piece. Hold on. Alright. There you go. There was a piece for you.
Jesus. So disrespectful.
I had to make noise for the thing. Listen, this is all listen, you understand how this goes. They can't see it, so I have to, well, I guess they can see it.
Man out here making edibles and shit.
Listen, I came from Orlando. I was sent from the fam in Orlando for us. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm getting shit shipped in, you know what I mean, across seas. You know what I mean?
Nah, hell no.
And I gave y'all a time, but you guys understand that was a brick, right? That was like this thing was this big. It was a brick.
You do understand I'm lightweight, right?
That's why I gave you guys a very light piece. I just told you it originated from this, and I broke, and you see, I gave you guys a little equal piece of what was left, like of one. We got 6 bricks in the fridge of Rice Krispies treats. That is
stuff like that. That's for Friday when I got a day off.
Oh well, you know, Wednesday nights.
When I gotta wake up tomorrow at 6 in the morning.
I figure, you know, we got the next game on. You know,
exactly. I need to focus.
It's elimination. You're gonna need to keep your mind right, stay a little bit lucid. You know, don't get too caught up in the moment. Trae Young over here, chasing players down, calling them a bitch.
Fuck that whole ass nigga.
And then he got bumped by somebody. I don't know if he got bumped at halftime. Oh yeah, it's about to be right here. Yeah, bam. Oh no, wait, that's not it. Here it goes right here. Bam. Nurse Noel. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been. You know what? I will talk Knicks talk in the next segment, right? And then look, everybody trying to come fight Nurse Noel. Look at that. They trying to fight Nurse Noel. It's like what? I'll fight you with my good leg. I'll fight you naked.
Hey, yo.
Oh, man, nursing.
Yo, listen. There's a story behind this, right? And really, Lewis only could give this story justice. But we're at a strip club one day, and who even knows how this beef started, right? Or what the fuck is going on? But I don't even think that we were the ones doing the fighting. We was just like, hey yo, you know what I mean? Like he may have involved our people, la 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 la. And the dude that was being that we didn't know was being held back got a little too brolic for himself, right? And started popping off shit to Lewis, like yo, la 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 la. And then he said some shit like, yo, you got a fancy shirt on. Like, I can't fight you. Lewis was like, yo, I'll fight you naked. And started taking off his shirt.
Only lose, man. Only lose.
I was like, yo, this nigga is crazy. But I been knew he was fucking crazy in fights. He's the only person that I still know to this day that I've actually seen him let somebody hit him 3 times. Like just to break their confidence. It was like, oh no, come on, you want to fight me? Come on, hit me. Oh, it was 2 times tonight. It was 2.5 times. Right? And then Luz was like, nah, that wasn't it. I'll give you another chance. Go ahead, you can hit me again. Dude was looking around like, oh, is he for real? His girl in the back like, hit him, baby! Fuck him up! Because she felt disrespected because niggas tried hollering at her. I was like, we didn't even touch you. How you gonna feel disrespect because niggas is hollering at you? That is actually the ultimate sign of respect. But so, and we downtown. Like, she's in a hit-on-me environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, downtown is for the trash.
like this was one of those days where, like you know, like
downtown
anybody
Fort
could
Lauderdale, that's for the trash.
Yeah, anybody could belong to the streets. You know what I mean? It's one of those kind of nights.
To the streets. That area, that's a compliment. Downtown.
You know what I mean?
Them hoes belong to the sewers down there.
Yes, and all that. Lewis tells the dude, I'm not, hit me again. And dude cocks back, hits Lewis the second time. Lewis goes, drinkage? Huh? Yeah. No, I'm not good for right now. I can hold out. I'll sip on this. Right? So then Lewis looks at the dude like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you one last chance. I'm going to give you one more chance. You hit me one more time. And we was with somebody. He passed away. Rest in peace, Ronnie Moe. Right? He used to be the chef at Bourgeois. The one that's here in Springs.
Rest in peace, good brother.
And so I go look at Ronnie Moe and I'm like, hey, hold on, I'll be right back. Right? Right? Next thing you know, from Ronnie Moe's point of view, he was like, you said to me I was going to be right back. Next thing you know, that dude's laying on the floor because you hit him. How the fuck did you get over there that fast? I was like, I told you I was going to be right back. Because Lewis was giving him one more chance to hit him. And I was like, fuck that, I'm not going to let my nigga get swung on 3 times. Like, I know he can fight, and this ain't even about all that. I'm not like, but you get swung on 3 times. You may not be in your right frame of mind. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is the first time I've seen this shit. Plus, I was in the army, too, right? So this is me coming out here for vacation. So, no doubt, like, I made a little part to the crowd. I was like, excuse me, coming. Ran up on him. Boom! I went to my ran up him, like, full weight. I fell with him. And then next thing you know, his girl is like, oh my God, baby, let's go. People in the back like, he ain't know he have people with him. Lewis, that crazy son of a bitch.
He wasn't ready.
That's Lewis. So now, tell me even what's crazier is that the Celtics went ahead and did a complete management change after being embarrassed by Brooklyn in the NBA playoffs. Danny Ainge, gone as president. Also, Brad Stevens, gone as head coach. At this moment, I'm like, what the fuck? And then the last bomb drops. Brad Stevens? Hired? As president? I was like, whoa, what the fuck? You just oust Danny Ainge like that? For Brad Stevens? So I had 2 first thoughts, right? Simultaneous first thoughts.
I need to be drunk before I talk about this shit.
I wonder how the players feel. Because we all knew that there's been issues with Brad Stevens and these players for a while, right? Like for the last couple of years, stemming back to the Kyrie Irving stuff, the Brandon Haywood stuff. You know what I mean? Like just there's been a lot of mistreatment and just they ain't as together as they seem, right? Like Celtic pride is holding that a whole lot more together than that head coach I think is at times. You know what I mean? And overall professionalism because you're playing for the Celtic organization, which goes back to Celtic pride. So my first thought was, how do those players feel? And then, and on top of it, I was thinking, God, they playing like Brad Stevens. But what the fuck did Danny Ainge do? Because Danny Ainge, we have been credited as the greater mind to Bill Belichick in this NBA. And I gotta say greater mind to Bill Belichick. Because Bill Belichick keeps getting a pass, right, as if he didn't have Aaron Hernandez, a mass murderer, on his team.
That he didn't know about. Until later.
But they always give like, oh, he could bring in this. He just did it this draft. Bill Belichick brought in a questionable personality. And of course, this questionable personality is going to fall in line automatically under the Bill Belichick system, because if there's anybody or any system that could bring in these kind of guys, it's his system, but he had a mass murder on his system that he didn't know about. Really? How in tune is he? He literally had a mob boss on his fucking team.
Hey man, niggas get hit every day, B.
So I don't want it. So like this automatic.
Don't question nothing about Belichick.
Bill
He has
Belichick
7 rings
for being able to handle personalities. I don't buy into that shit anymore.
6 rings.
Fuck that.
Leave that man
Don't
alone.
mean shit to me.
6 rings.
See, I sit here and let you say
6
that.
rings. 6 rings.
That's crazy what you just did, man.
6 rings. 6 rings. You
really
don't question
hate
a man who
Brady
has
and
6 rings.
How he supposed to know? The FBI couldn't even find this shit out. So Belichick's supposed to know?
But Bill,
Listen,
but then, okay, I'm not saying, okay, what I'm saying is that, then don't go ahead and give him credit, right? When he takes on these guys that have sketchy past, or when he takes on guys that have these guys, start giving him credit. But like,
You know why he can do that?
Oh, he can take on these guys.
You know why he can do that?
Or he has the system that he can manage these guys. No, you don't have the system that can manage these guys. You had a mass murder on your system that you knew nothing about.
You know why?
You can't manage it.
You know why he can do that?
Because he has 6 rings?
6 rings.
That shit don't mean
And
nothing
not just
And
that.
that shit don't mean nothing.
10 straight AFC championship
That
games.
shit don't mean nothing to me when it comes to coaching personality. That shit don't mean nothing.
How many damn games got?
He had he want to give him all this credit, but nobody gives him. Nobody puts the shit on his fucking table.
No.
They want to lick his ass.
Because that's a grown ass man. That grown ass man.
You make a parallel to agendas, though, bro.
I did make a parallel.
You make
and I said that
That's not even a parallel.
And I said that
That's
Danny
not even a
Ainge.
parallel. It's no competition.
And I said that Danny Ainge has been a better GM than Bill Belichick is. Bill Belichick, the coach, is something different though. He's a cheater.
Man, come on. See, you sound crazy, bro.
I do though, but I am.
Will, you know
Man,
he's
you
a
sound
hater.
crazy. It's hot take.
You know he's
This
a
hot
hater.
take tea today. Hot take tea today, boy. We got it.
He's a hater, man.
If you ain't want him, it don't matter. You got it. Hot take.
Take that.
Literally, not hot take, high take tea.
Oh,
high
shit.
take tea.
But listen, but I'm just saying that Danny Ainge, and I'm not even giving Danny Ainge the credit. I'm just saying that Danny Ainge is credited like Bill Belichick is, and I think that he should be credited a little bit higher than Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick had a mob boss that he didn't know about. So how you keep all these guys in line when you didn't even know that you had somebody out here committing mass murders? You know what I mean?
Who's crediting Danny Ainge? You
What?
can't even put them guys in the same stratosphere. Belichick and Danny Ainge. You said Phil Jackson maybe, or Jerry West. Jerry West is the only person that can be is comparable to Bill Belichick. It's only. That's it. As a GM.
Jerry West.
Okay, so let's put it this way. Danny Ainge's name is as respected as the Usai Ujiris of the world when it comes to president and basketball operations. Every time he makes a move, they fawn over it. He's the guy that's always making the right chess move. He's the guy that passed off Markel Fultz to get Tatum, and then use that to go ahead and add more pieces and get Brown.
He didn't pass Fultz. The 76ers are just
Not as of late. Why you think he's stepping down?
They did pass
You
Fultz.
think it's a mistake?
No.
I'm gonna tell you why. All right, let me give you my take. Why he's stepping down? It's kind of like the
76ers
Cleveland.
is just done.
It's like Cleveland here deep destined over the last 5 years.
Cleveland! This is for you!
But they have been listening to Paul Deep Destin. They've listened to Hugh Jackson. They listened to John Dorsey. And at every turn, he's saying, like, more often than not, damn, we should have listened to Deep Destin. Probably the same thing with Brad Stevens, GM-wise. Brad's like, hey, we need this person. We don't need this person. We don't need to bring in Calvin. We don't need this. Danny Ainge is trying to accumulate talent because he's a GM. Brad Stevens probably was making more sense at the time. Like, well, we put Brad Stevens in this position because the moves we didn't make or the room that we did make that's wrong, he told us not to make those moves. He told us to make better moves than Danny Ainge. So Danny Ainge, I don't want to fight you, bro, but I think you need to step down because you making Brad look bad. It's really your bad decision that you brought these players in here. And Brad knew that these players wouldn't work with him. He tried to give you a warning, but you made those deals anyway. And so really, I need to start listening to Brad more because he's more than fucking genius than you. That's part of what happened. Or and it's really literally just stepping back because he's tired.
That could be a true. And sometimes it could be a combination of both. It could be that he's tired of fighting with them to get the stuff that he wants. You know what I mean? Like I can't do this fight anymore. Like you guys keep trying to do and you guys want the young guy. Go ahead and put the young guy. But also here goes Brad Stevens again, like shocking the world in another position. Because I remember when Brad Stevens got the head coaching position, how they talked about how young he was at the head coaching position, and now he is a president of operations, and that age comes in again. Like he's a young one. But why not Doc? I'm just saying, why wasn't Doc given these kind of considerations after he won a championship and his team was like going through this roller coaster of playoffs, non-playoffs, playoffs, non-playoffs?
Let's stop that. You already know why that is. Come on, unless you're trying to make this a whole other second.
I'm just saying, I thought half of him would at least get a contract or get a look at. If you know what I'm saying, based on what you guys are saying. I thought at least half of him would get looked at. What's going on, Mark? We got Mark in the building. We got all of the drunk uncles officially in the building. What's going on, my drunken brethrens?
Yes, sir. What's up, fellas, man?
Family.
Come on,
family.
What's up, fellas?
I mean, say family.
Shit. So after I was thinking, oh shit.
I have a reminder for Talon.
Okay, what that is, that's our little alert to let us know on Wednesday night. It's time for that 21 mark salute. You know what we doing with the 21 light salute by the 21 mark, right? Born in the 1900s mark, you know what I mean? Or born on 1900. I'm sorry. Yes, that nigga's 121 years old. You know what they say, black don't crack. I don't know what the fuck he got. That shit ain't even move a bitch. So, what we do? We like to flick our light 7 times for everybody that has been affected by COVID. Whether that be good, bad, or indifferent. Whether you got a PPP loan and then went to jail because you bought 2 Lambos, like, or you just got family members that got sick. If you were affected by COVID, we want to flick these lights 7 times for you. If you happen to be an essential worker that had to work every day, and then you were jealous of everybody that got to sit on their ass and collect that extra money, hey, this is for you too. Hey, if you collected all that money and you invested it wisely, this is for you. If you collected all that money, you invested it badly, and now you gotta hurry up and get your ass back to work. Hey, this is for you too. For everybody that's been infected in any kind of way by COVID, this is for you. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 6, and that's 7. What was the 7th crack commandment?
Shit.
Without you go see, now you gotta run through them all in your head now. You singing?
I'm literally in my head right now.
1, 2, 3.
5. Never get high on your own supply. Number 6.
Fuck. That's 7. That goddamn credit.
Forget it. Yeah.
Think a crackhead, baby. Back shit. Forget it. I think that's 7. All I remember is number 1 and number 10. I think I'm lying. Out of memory is what I'm saying. Okay.
It was the family one for me.
So, we came in some I realize the 10 crack commandments are coming up a lot lately. Maybe because I listen to it almost every Sunday. I always listen to my commandments on Sunday. It's one of the things I do all the time. I listen to the Holy Grail. I listen to Jesus Peace. Golden Salvation. Like all of my that's my gospel on Sundays. That's the kind of gospel I listen to.
Lord, protect me. Protect me, okay?
You know what I mean? Jesus walks like that's the kind of shit I listen to.
Lord, you know my heart.
So after I had the brief thought about Danny Ainge, right? My next thought was about how these players feel, and then that's when I was like, you know what? Jason Tatum to the Knicks, because one of these players are not happy with Danny Ainge. And if they're unhappy with Danny Ainge, as Knicks fans always do, we always look at somebody. Yo, Knicks fans is the dude that's never happy with their girl.
Jason
like
unhappy.
we always looking at somebody else's girl like, yo, she got a fat ass.
Jason's unhappy, but Boston won't trade him. They'll get rid of Jalen and then make sure that it's Jason's team. And Jalen, you go somewhere and have young.
You gonna get rid of the militant? Man, he'll burn that arena down. You can't get rid of the militant.
Where? Let's be honest.
Jalen, I'm brown on inside and outside.
Oh,
that'll never happen.
We know that's not gonna happen.
No.
It wouldn't happen.
Jalen Brown may be going.
That's what he said. That's what he said. Jalen Brown will probably. That's what he said.
Jalen Brown. They both might not be happy with Boston, but they will let go of Jalen Brown before they let go
Tatum
of
can
Jason
force himself
Tatum.
out there. Young players can force themselves out these days. It may be a little bit harder in Boston because of how they like to pride themselves.
Way harder in Boston.
Right? And you know, they always have their racial undertones. You know, right? So. But
that's why they let Jalen go and keep that on Jason.
Because he can talk to both sides. He's black, white, and Jewish. Like actually, he could talk to 3 different sides.
He's not going nowhere.
Jason Tatum?
Yeah.
Look.
He's not going nowhere.
Ain't nobody coming to the Knicks, though. Ain't nobody coming to the Knicks Boston.
Cut his mic.
Whoa.
Cut his mic.
Chill.
Cut his mic, because he can't catch the Nerf gun. Cut his mic.
For real.
Cut his mic.
Y'all got a better chance of Giants going to the Knicks.
Listen, you have to pump your brakes on that one. Right? So
Hit the brakes!
with them now having with
Boston will do it because it's in
so
division.
let's
They
get
won't
back.
trade him.
So let's get back to the some hypotheticals about Boston that's a little bit more directly related, right? And a little bit more imminent and a little bit more likely to happen. Now that they have a president and they've hired their head coach as the new president, they need a new head coach. Have you heard of some of the names tied to them immediately?
Jason Kidd, Lloyd Pierce, and then for some reason I saw some shit where Tatum made it seem like he wanted Evan Turner, who's an assistant, on there as the head
Evan
coach.
Turner, the former player?
Yeah, I didn't even know he was an assistant.
I thought he was still playing somewhere,
Me
like
too.
in the
He's
G
only
League or like on the 12th.
He's only 32.
Or like
He's
on
only
the 15th.
32.
I thought he was playing the shit.
But
Daddy
but
goes
the
somewhere.
Put
fact,
some respect on his name. Evan Turner. Put some respect on his name. Ohio State greatness. That's what y'all do.
This is for you.
you set that up. You set that up. I can't even lie. You walk right into that shit. You said that shit like you didn't give a fuck about that drop.
Put some respect on that man's name.
But no, anyway, when I saw that, I immediately said, yeah, Tatum's been lying out his motherfucking teeth. He has an issue with Stevens. For him to say he hoped that, because apparently it said Evan Turner was rumored to be the head coach, to be the new head coach, and he went on his Twitter and said, no, I'm not the head coach. Tatum quoted it, was like, I wish it was true. I said, oh, yeah, you had an issue with the coach. You had an issue with Stevens.
So let me drop a couple more names on you.
But you've been out here lying on these interviews that you've been doing.
Listen, they're definitely lying on that. That's the reason why I'm
I
wondering.
never believed them. You can't believe a light skin. You can't believe a light skin.
Oh no, listen,
You
they're
can't
lying
believe
to
a
your
light skin.
face.
Can't believe a light skin.
Okay, and somebody's in the crowd right now.
Mark.
Okay, there we go. So, when it came, let me drop a couple more bombs of head coaching names, right? And I broke this into 3 categories: former Celtics, former coaches, or coaches, period, and history.
What you saying, Kevin McHale?
Well, let me give you this. Former Celtics,
Kevin McHale?
Sam Cassell,
Or that too?
and Kendrick Perkins.
Ew.
These are the names I'm hearing. Now remember, Sam Cassell has been coaching ever since.
No. Cassell, I bet, but Perkins, nah.
Remember, after he left Boston and won a championship, he's been coaching ever since.
He's literally been on Doc Rivers' assistant. He's in Philadelphia right now as we speak.
Yeah, exactly. He's getting
Either that or still with the Clippers. One of the
because
two.
you know Doc Rivers. Listen, like who we just had as
Cassell out here, but the Perkins.
but Perkins type, but Perkins more like on staff. Like I don't like I've heard his name talk about head coach once. But everybody else I've heard as on staff. Hey, I told you, right?
Defense of the big man.
When this news started dropping, what's the first thing I text you? What did I text you? I didn't even text a response. I text you Boston local radio station. Cause that's all I listened to all morning for like 5 hours. Like I was engulfed in them. I hated it. Oh my god, it was the worst. It was the worst fucking radio in my fucking life. From Boston. I'm like, fuck out of here. Fucking wannabes. You're not fuck out of here. You go call your fucking place the Garden when we got the fucking Madison Square going. Yo, Boston people want to be like New Yorkers so fucking bad. My dick hurts.
They call themselves the Garden too, just like New York. I'm like, bro. Like,
so, Sam Cassell Pro are two former Celtics names that I'm hearing. Now, some former coaches, right? You mentioned two of them, Jason Kidd and Lloyd Pierce, the former coach from Atlanta.
If they're smart, they wouldn't touch Lloyd Pierce.
Now, there's also somebody else, but Billups.
Chauncey Billups, yeah.
Yup, Chauncey Billups is another name.
I ain't gonna lie. Damn, I'd like that.
I got one you like even better.
Chauncey.
I got one you like even better.
That's a solid dude. Whoever he coaches in the future, that team's gonna be solid. Cause Chauncey was never rattled.
You know who needs a coaching job?
I wish Chauncey played for us in his prime. Man. Oh man.
You know who probably deserves a coaching job, but they probably would never let him in another arena like that again? Gilbert Arenas. His mind is so fucking ridiculous.
His mind is crazy. Cause his mind is so solid. It's so lit. IQ crazy. But it's mixed with knucklehead tendencies.
Yeah, like
even when
he was a smart nigga in the hood.
He
was a smart nigga in the hood.
It's like
that also did that. He did good, but also did a bunch of smart dumb shit.
It's like you hear him talk and articulate himself like, how? But you talk like this, but how are you so dumb at the same time?
And he explains the gun scenario. I heard the gun story from him.
Oh, he talks about it like
I finally heard the story. Like, cause I've heard pieces of it. And then I finally heard the piece that I've been missing.
And if you think I'm bullshitting about how smart Gilbert Arenas is, go listen to his podcast and then come back to me.
Shit, no, this motherfucker, like he ain't dumb.
At all.
And he'll at least know how to how to coach people and communicate with them and motivate them. But
somebody
let's go to his story.
Like,
I told you I had 3 categories: former Celtics, former coaches, and history. I told you I got a name that you would like more than Billups.
Hey, ladies.
Becky Hammond. Becky, hold on. Let me. And the fact that that her name, Becky Hammond's name is out there as a possible candidate to take over the coaching job of the Boston Celtics, and that's the only way they don't receive my hate for a coaching stint.
I love to hear it.
For one coaching stint, I guarantee you, I'm gonna put this on wax, and it's gonna hurt my heart. It's gonna so hurt my heart because they keep Jason Tatum names are gonna be great. If the Boston Celtics, you guys hear me, right? Okay. The Boston Celtics get Becky Hammond, I will reserve, as much as I can, my Boston Celtic hate while she is the head coach of the Boston Celtics. I will try to keep it to a very bare minimum.
So my man didn't get fouled.
And that's all I can promise you. Wow. That's all I can promise you.
Wow.
But I feel like out of respect, halfway through her contract, I have to treat her like every other coach. You know what I mean? Like the first couple.
Oh, so you show her different.
So what I'm saying, yeah, because like for the first 2 years, I made sure some favoritism, but that's just to make sure that her popularity rises and I get to put her out there as much as possible, only to be able not to properly talk shit about her for the next 2 years.
That don't sound like equal. That don't sound like equal hate.
It's not equal hate. I tell people all the time, I'm sexist like a motherfucker. But I'm sexist in all the good ways possible.
Have there ever had a black coach?
Who, the Celtics?
Doc Rivers.
Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
They've actually won with their black coaches.
Yeah, their last championship was with a black coach. Yeah. And then, Bill Russell got them shit too.
Yeah. They won chips with their black coaches.
I was thinking. Mark at the baseball game, for real.
Me?
You still like,
I'm at work.
But
yeah, I gotta stay at work tonight. I ain't making it tonight because I gotta freaking be back here at 5:30 in the morning.
Pass me his gift.
Fans on this shit.
Pass me his gift. I'll take your gift for you then, Mark. I don't want this to go to waste.
You're missing out on a dope edible.
You sure you ain't gonna make it?
Yeah.
Huh?
Better eat your shit.
Marcel.
Yeah, nah, I ain't gonna.
Okay.
God damn.
What's going on, paparazzi? Happy birthday. So,
Paparazzi. What's good, family?
with all of this news, right, that we got dropped about Boston, all this was a big elaborate rouge, right? For you guys that watch Naruto, this was a genjutsu, right? For you guys that there's no secret agent spy shit, this was an illusion. It was a holograph, right? This was the wool over our eye. This is the banana in the tailpipe. Because all they were trying to do was change the narrative from the fact that
You have failed this city.
that they just got bounced in the playoffs. That's why you drop it the day after. Like all this is in the working. That's why this is all hush hush. You drop it because as soon as you get eliminated, you got bounced in the first round. You don't want nobody to talk about you getting bounced. You fire your head coach. You fire your president of operations. You hire a new president of operations, and you start a new head coach hire, and you make all the talk surrounded about that, and now nobody's talking about you being embarrassed by Brooklyn.
But they didn't.
That's not embarrassing.
Embarrassing? No.
That's not embarrassing. Not embarrassing.
What's embarrassing is the Miami Heat. That's embarrassing.
They got embarrassed too.
Yeah, that is.
And they got embarrassed too. They got the hit with the
Milwaukee, this is for you.
Straight up. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I missed
I
hearing
think
those
New York-
Brooklyn chants. I was
think New
watching
York-
the game
you're
last
gonna be
night,
hearing it
and
pretty
when all
soon.
of a sudden when I heard Brooke in the stands,
It hit
I was like,
different.
oh, it hit so
that shit
different.
hit different when you
It
live.
hit different, son. I was like, yes, I missed it. I got chills like I was at the fucking game. I said, this is amazing. Fans, this is the beautiful part of fans being back.
Yo, why Brooklyn ain't as loud as
Speak!
Oh, let me get it.
Oh.
Why is Brooklyn not as loud as the Garden? Because it's the fucking Garden.
How dare you ask a question like that? You
I'm
know
fucking
better.
walking here. I'm sorry. I'm on the
they got the
podcast.
same
I'm
amount
fucking
of fans
potting
here?
here. It's not
Yeah.
even the same, B. Because, okay, I'm going to tell you why it's different. Brooklyn is literally tailoring. He stepped out of bounds.
He did.
Brooklyn is lit. Yes, you stepped out of bounds, nigga. See? Fuck! I can't take this. I'm sorry.
Y'all going on the run right now.
Yo, shut the fuck up, nigga. Listen,
Don't get your mic cut off.
I'll put laxatives in your edibles and give you the runs. How about that?
Word.
So New York is going on the run right now. Chill,
Yo.
relax.
I don't like how you talk.
Word.
Alright.
I'm not even a fan of, but
Which one you
Hey,
want
nice
this
car.
with the
Hey,
this?
nice car,
or
T. Shut the fuck up, nigga.
what?
Hey, nice car. Hey,
you
girlfriend
want the
looks-
lemonade
you got an
jar?
awesome girlfriend. Shut the fuck up. What?
I'm from
Get
Brooklyn.
your ass
I'm
back
sorry.
out
Thanks, B. Shut the motherfucker up, B.
It's like,
Which
yo,
one
you got
you-
some nice wheels. Yo, fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here, yo. Don't
I
talk
got-
to me. Don't speak to me unless spoken to, nigga.
It's like, yo, there's some nice shoes you got. They my size too. What the fuck you want? Oh, they're your size. What's up? I learned the remix.
Oh, of course. Listen.
Yo, you got some nice shoes. Oh, they're your size. What's up?
Listen.
I was just saying they good
No, that's facts. You walking in New York, somebody compliment something you're wearing, hey, you better be ready to fight, because niggas is about to try you. Right then and there.
Yo, that's a nice chain, homie. Oh, you
Oh,
looking at my
oh.
Jesus piece?
Put your
Oh,
dukes
shit. Hamdulillah. Pray Jesus, because he's about to catch these holy hands.
Facts. All that niggas doing is setting you up to get robbed. That's it.
Shit.
Which one you want? You want this with this joint or this with the lemonade joint?
I'm going to get there with the...
I thought this would be wavy.
Okay, so let me get a splash of the blue again. Some of the blue, because it has alcohol content in it.
Yeah.
Yes, let me
I
do it.
put the blue joint in there. It
Now,
takes- but it takes
I'm not crazy, Will. I'm sportsy. Are we still talking about sports right now? What are we talking about?
We was talking about Boston.
Oh, yeah. So okay.
And how they got embarrassed.
Okay, so
I
listen.
can tell you one thing: Tatum ain't going to Boston. They would never trade that man to Boston. He may go as a free agent, but he ain't never going there.
To the Knicks, we'll see. We'll see. I know what you meant though.
Nah, I'm not sure if I want him by the time he's a free agent. He might be too prima donna. He might not fit the system at that point.
Think he may go full Kuzma? Tell me Kuzma. Tell me Kuzma didn't come into the NBA and go full light skin.
Bro, Kuzma needs to worry about.
What you mean go full light skin? He came into the league full light skin.
But I feel like he took it up to like a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Mark.
He was a Super Saiyan
up.
light skin, and he took it up to Super Saiyan 2
All
light skin.
all you have to do is go on Kyle Kuzma Instagram and be like, yeah, y'all light skins took an L for this motherfucker here.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's JaVale McGee light skin.
Nah, JaVale ain't no bitch though.
Nah, but JaVale McGee is klutzy white light skin though. He was like, which way did he go?
Kuzma looked like the type of nigga that didn't do no yard work when his dad made him come outside do yard work. Was acting all prissy and whatnot. My hands in the dirt.
Like JaVale McGee looked like, yo, I got played because I'm light skinned and tall with light eyes. But even though I drop dishes every time I try to wash.
And he looks like the Grinch. Talking about Grinch? Come on, man.
Oh, you talking about Trae Young?
No.
The Grinchy, the troll of all light skins. Like, you know, if you had to do like a light skin evolutionary track, Trae Young would be at the bottom of it, right? He'll be like before you start walking upright.
Bro, I was with my man. Bro, I was with my man's. I was with my man's watching Game 2.
He like Sam Cassell could be his daddy.
He was Trae Young is like this. Bro, see you back in the A, and my man's is yelling through the TV. Man, you talking about see you back in the A? Man, run it back with your barber, nigga. You got grown ass baby with fucking baby hairs dangling and shit. Get the fuck out of here. Be a man and get a real cut. I said, Jesus Christ, fuck.
Baby hair, little teeth. Like, man,
no, he got some dangling ass baby
hair.
No doubt though, but he needs somebody to show him what edge control is. Like I just learned what edge control is, and he needs some of that. He needs edge control.
Like, he can't wear that. That's a man. Damn, he be that.
You sure that's a man?
But he got. But okay. Let me rephrase this. He looks like he needs better edge control because he looks like he starts off the game with edge control, but then by like 8 minutes into the first, it starts to wear off.
Bro, that's not edge control. Like when they sweating, that's what it look like.
Yeah, you sweat out edge control.
Yeah, it's like. No, it looked like it's edge control because the wetness that make it like that. You don't know nothing about hair, T.
I don't.
Goodness gracious. Dudes don't use edge control, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that.
What's that? He said I need
edge control. Mark no. Ask Mark.
Well, we know Mark no edge control. That's the reason why Mark ain't saying nothing over there. He like, yeah, that nigga need edge
control. Mark was out there like 5-year-old.
Mark told us he used to have dreads. He was out there looking like Melly Vanilli. He had edge control all day.
He said Melly Vanilli.
However do you want me?
This guy.
However do you need me? However do you want me? However do you need me? You know this nigga was a Rhythm Nation backup dancer. We are the fame of a brand new nation. Luca! Yo, did y'all see the movie?
When you take pictures in the right light, you gotta take pictures only in the right light.
I do.
That's pretty light skinned.
Fuck. Well, I need flash when I take a picture.
Like you turn to the sun, the sun hit just right on your face, and then take a picture. That's definitely light skinned.
Let me put some ice in there, but that may work. It's kind of sweet. But I get some ice in there. Okay, so here we go again, right? Let me get into this Knicks talk, because the Knicks are about to get their ass whooped. Let me get into this Knicks talk, because I have to get this out of the way before the Knicks lose. The Knicks are 100% in a must-win situation, in case everybody has not realized that. And as we currently stand, the New York Knicks are down 72-58, with 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Right? And the Knicks lost their last game 113-96. We witnessed a lot of that. Trae Young had 27, Julius Randle had 23. And ever since the last game, things have started getting chippy, where you can see even players starting to play the enforcer. You see Reggie Bullock out there, like he's over there taking chippy shots. He's receiving a couple of chippy shots as well. You see Julius Randle over there taking cheap shots on Gallinaro as well. And that kind of bothered me because your best player can't be your enforcer. So there's a couple things I see from the Knicks right now. Like they definitely need, like, on top of them needing like another bona fide scorer or a bona fide bucket getter, right? Somebody they can put the ball in their hands and they can really start breaking down this defense. Basically a point guard is what we're saying, right? But somebody also that can get a bucket. So they need a point guard or they need a bucket getter, somebody or one in the two or two separate. But they also need some kind of enforcer.
I need me a Chauncey Billups.
They need like an Adams or like Adam Stevens or whatever, Steven Adams. Like so somebody modern day enforcer, right? I don't know what enforcers look like this day much, right? But they need somebody like that's willing to just continuously put people on their ass. Now, I've been hearing a lot of talk about the Knicks defense. So I'm gonna need you guys to turn that game down in the back. I can't have that on the broadcast. Thank you. I've been hearing the discussions about the Knicks defense versus Atlanta's defense, and how people have been saying that Atlanta looks like they're playing defense better than the Knicks.
The Knicks don't know what the fuck they're doing offensively. That's what's helping Atlanta's defense look crazy.
But also defense looks different, right? New York Knicks have been a team defensive guy. They don't have a defensive stopper, right? Even though Nerlens Noel is kind of like a rim protector.
He's a help defender.
Right? He's not
an on-ball defender.
He's not Clint Capella. Right? He's not the rim deterrent that we think that Clint Capella, when you think of Clint Capella. He's not stopping you from going into the rim every single time. He'll challenge you more times than not. That's why he'll get 4 blocks in the game. And when you have a team that's playing more team defense, right? Versus a team that has at least a guy that hey, is going to tumble you the whole entire time, it changes things. He consistently sticks out. It's the fact that they're able to play the Knicks up so tight, and every time they go to the ring, there goes Clint Capella. I've said this from the last game up until now, right? That even before the last game, that Derrick Rose shouldn't be starting. When I said that Alfred Payton needed to sit down, and here it goes, I got my wish, right? Alfred Payton needed to sit down, I got my wish, but it's not how I envision it. You know they say, be careful of what you ask for. It may not be exactly what you want.
Quickly.
Well, I think this is one of those cases where we got what we asked for, which is nice. Quickly with the tip and the turnover. 74-61 Knicks. Hawks. And we see Quickly get fouled as he drives to the lane. I thought, if anything, Quickly should have, my first thought was probably Frank, but I felt real skeptical about Frank, and that's only because the first reason why I thought Frank was because I'm trying to put myself in the head of the New York Knicks and how they've been all year, of them not wanting to separate Rose and Quickly. You know what I mean? Cause they've been like that for what she said. So that's the reason why I first went to Frank. And then after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I can't take Frank. You gotta start Quickly. And then it really hit me who they needed to start. Alex fucking Burke.
I was about to say that.
Alex Burke needed to start because what ends up happening, and I talked about this or alluded to it. I don't know if I got a chance to fully say this in the last podcast. What ends up happening in the game when Derrick Rose starts, when that pace change, there is no pace change in the game, right? So they while they keep up early in the game versus getting blown out, there's no pace change for them to take the lead. So when that lead starts to give way like it is right now, there's no pace change for you to start closing that. And that's what Derrick Rose was giving you, was a massive pace change. Now you get accustomed to him and you're able to adjust to that and carry on. And by the fourth, it's a wrap. That 12-point lead that you were trying to avoid in the first, you're accumulating the third and fourth. Every fucking game so far. So you're avoiding it early to get it late. But before you was getting it early and then you was coming back late. So Coach Tibbs got out coached because he overthunk a couple of plays. First it was the Frank play at the end of the game. I'm playing on Frank's reputation than what you've seen of him your whole entire year or his whole entire career. And then started Derrick Rose. And then panicking to the point where you brought Derrick Rose off the bench, not realizing, thinking to yourself he gave you the best chance to win, but not understanding how the dynamic truly worked out. And then you got to a point where if you start Derrick Rose, I already know how he thinks. You can't put him back on the bench. Like you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube kind of thing. But you can in this scenario. You could have put him back on the bench. It's just that your faith to him, and your faith in him, and your loyalty to him, right, didn't want you to do that because you didn't want to go against your own ego in making that decision or fuck with his pride as well. Like he thought about, which is considerate in a way. But he also thought about Derrick Rose in a way. But you no longer were being a coach and doing what's best for your team to win. Not anymore. He stopped doing that. Now, this is going to be disappointing. Like, if the Knicks lose here, this is going to be disappointing. I honestly thought that the Knicks was going to be able to win this game. But also, I thought there was going to be a change in the lineup. I thought there was going to be one last change in the lineup. The discrepancies of the Knicks are starting to show. Highly, very big, right? And the fight.
Am I too loud over here?
Is that all you?
That's him.
You sound like you're playing Duck Duck Goose over there?
Yeah. Right.
Quack, that ass.
So now in New York. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm already at the point. Like, I'm a little disappointed of how this series turned out. I'm a little disappointed. I know this is above expectations. That does not mean that you can't be disappointed. And I'm disappointed. I'm happy for my Knicks.
Disappointed?
I am happy for my Knicks making it this far. I am happy for my Knicks doing this good this season. I am disappointed on how this postseason ended.
Well, what you thought it was going to be, bro?
I thought they would beat the Atlanta Hawks. I thought full facts they'll beat the Atlanta Hawks in 5-6 games.
They're not the Cleveland Browns. But that's because you have unrealistic expectations. And so I hope this teaches you a lesson. To stop fucking having unrealistic expectations and listen to people when they're trying to tell you this.
I haven't had unrealistic expectations all year. Actually, everybody else has had unrealistic expectations of my Knicks. I've actually been the one that's actually seen them for what they've had.
Oh, so you forget like I don't be here. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't sit here and listen to all the shit that you be popping. All of this is for yous and all of this. Like I ain't here. Like I'm invisible. Okay.
Cleveland! This is for you!
Just saying. Just as much as I hear that eight times a podcast, I hear your overzealous, overachieving, like over expectations, all of that. I hear it, and then I try to bring it down to earth, and he argues with me.
I gotta give it to the Knicks fans. I gotta give it to the Knicks fans because the simple fact that
Speaking to the mic, we can barely hear you.
You probably got his earphones in though.
Yeah, I got my earphones. Can you hear me now?
Really? Put
the phone up to your mouth.
Put it to your lips.
Sometimes the mic is in your phone.
I'm gonna get you some AirPods, B.
You're probably with his glasses.
Look, man.
Nah, man.
What I'm saying is expectations that's low. But they had Knicks had 22 games. All of a sudden, y'all went number 4 in the playoff position, and y'all got really hyped. Like if y'all would have thought about where you were coming from, you know what I'm saying? Like you had a good season.
Come on, make a run, damn it, make a run.
And what Mark was basically saying, for everybody that didn't hear him, was that he gives it up for the Knicks fans for based off where they were to where they came to. Like they weren't expected to win 22 games, and they ended up doubling that, and then also making it to the 4th seed. So you can understand them being a little hyped. And at times I don't think I was overhyped. I held them to how they were playing at every turn.
Get it to IQ.
Like as I saw them play, I judged them based off my expectation of seeing them play. That's based off me seeing them play, I honestly thought they should be able to beat the Atlanta Hawks. Listen, based on how they played during the regular season, I also now you know what's probably the biggest stretch out of anything I probably said is me thinking that they could have beat or taken the Milwaukee Bucks to 7 games. Based off how they played them during the regular season. That's a complete false. Like that would have been
the Knicks pick and roll defense has been shitty all series long.
I just want to give you a hug. I want to give you a hug because at least you gave us something.
What's that?
But that, at least,
The Knicks pick and roll defense has been so awful.
But the thing is, how would you expect them to be in line? What have they done? I don't care what they was playing like.
They swept Atlanta this year. That's why I
you
supposed to beat Atlanta. They swept them this year.
But
Swept them.
No basketball. If you know basketball, you know the pedigree of your team. How do you think that it was going to be the same in the playoffs? You already know it's 2 different seasons, 2 different things. That's what makes it so disappointing. That's the only thing that's disappointing is you. The season wasn't disappointing. You are disappointing.
It's against Atlanta, man. Atlanta had as many losses as we did last year.
But Trae Young is the better. What's on your team that's close to Trae Young?
He is the best player on the floor.
That's what I'm saying. So you can't expect them to beat the best player on the floor.
I do.
When they got better, just as much as y'all got better. I'm just saying it don't make no sense. Like plus Randall he just ain't that guy. He ain't. He's not a Trae Young. He's not the same pedigree. He may be good overall. I'm glad he's turned the corner, but he's never going to be a Durant. Trae is like walking almost like in a Curry. He could be the next.
He won't be no Curry. He's gonna be like.
I'm just saying
he's gonna be like Lonzo Ball. Trae Young.
Lonzo Ball. Oh no, we don't have this. He said Lonzo. Oh, you mean Melo?
Lonzo.
There's some ignorance that you just can't.
Sometimes I wish I was KJ so bad so I could turn and just punch the shit out of the team. Directly in the back of the head.
You have no idea. You have no idea how much I just hold it.
At least in my head.
I'd be proud of myself. I'd be proud of myself because I'd be having great restraint to not go upside his head with some of these things that he says with a straight face.
I want to put his ass in the finger 4-leg lock and just not let go like this.
Okay, maybe not. I mean, but pretty damn close.
He said Lonzo Ball.
I'm trying to think of a comparable, right? Like,
it's Curry, bro.
It's not Curry though. It's not really Curry.
Yes, it is.
Like Jimmer Fredette.
Yes, it is.
He's a professional Jimmer Fredette.
No, oh my gosh, man. The guy that can't even make it in the league. You're so disrespectful on so many. Trae Young will be an all-star for years to come. Come on, bro. It's the closest you go. I'm not saying he is Curry, but his game is damn near close. If anybody in the league that's closest to Trae's game is closest to Curry. So I can see the resemblance.
I can see the resemblances that you guys are talking about. Okay, you know what? You are right. He's more like Seth Curry. You're right. He is like Curry, like Seth Curry.
Oh man,
if Seth Curry was ever given an opportunity of Steph Curry.
What did he do? What did he take? What is it in the edibles, bro?
What's that? You should have never gave him a sock.
This is a shock jock. This is MyT the shock jock.
The shock.
Today.
Yo, you know what he is. Yo, I haven't heard that terminology in forever. I feel like that's an 80s radio terminology, the shock jock.
He's like a Rod Strickland.
Nah, Rod Strickland's like 10 times better than him. He's like maybe like Sam, like a poor man Sam Cassell.
But
he's a shooter though, man. He's a shooter.
Sam Cassell would have been a shooter in this era.
You know what I'm saying?
See, you just trolling because you upset that Trae Young's been doing on Knicks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm supposed to be happy about it.
So everything you're saying is not valid. You might as well just go on to the next thing.
Next year for the Knicks.
Yeah,
right. Actually, before I even talk about next year, because we talked about next year briefly, right? We got a bunch of free agents that we're looking at. But you know what's been probably the most refreshing thing about this year, which is why I consistently shut this down every time it's said. We've had not one Not even an inkling. Not even a bad concert. Actually, no, I'm lying. We've had a couple of bad concerts, in a sense. But we haven't heard a word about James Dolan. We haven't heard a word from James Dolan. Like, the only thing that's come up about James Dolan is how he's treated a couple fans out at the fucking arena. We haven't heard him interfering.
That's good though, bro.
We haven't heard. That's what I'm saying. That is the one refreshing thing about this season, is that you haven't heard anything about James Dolan coming from this organization this year. Which is why I always shot it down when every single Knicks fan, when they automatically went to, oh, well, we ain't gonna do nothing until we get rid of James Dolan. I'm like, that's low hanging fruit. Like you might as well lick bubblegum off the carpet. You know what I mean? Like because if that was the case, he wouldn't have a successful hockey team. He honestly is one of those guys that once he finds the guy that he trusts to do his bidding, or to not only do his but to run his organization, he will leave you the fuck alone. He really will. It's just that over these last 20 years, he hasn't been able to find that guy. That guy either didn't want the job, or that guy failed, or that guy was riddled with sexual harassment scandals. But he has tried. Isaiah Thomas is a try. Phil Jackson is a try. The guy that we got from Indiana, he's a try. I forget what his name is. The little chubby white guy. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Nelson, he's a try. Don Nelson, that is. Like these are try. These guys failed. Like, these guys were highly respected in their positions at the time. Highly respected in the league. You know, it's not like he was bringing in fucking
So what you saying is luck. And he don't got no skill, so therefore he's still.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, he has those. I think he has. I don't think he even scouted right. Like a lot of people, he hires with he was hiring with emotion and people that he trusts. Organizational guys and stuff, you know what I mean? Things like that. He didn't have any real rhyme, reason, or formula to it. You know what I mean? But eventually, like he got it. Like he did it. But during that time, you know, he wasn't hiring fucking like Dan Akron. Like who was the coach of LeBron that year when he went back to Cleveland? What was that guy's name?
David Black?
David Blaine or some shit like that. David Black? Yeah.
Black.
And at least it wasn't him. Like, James Dolan never did that. Ever. Like, so you can at least say, even though it's not the right decision, at least you know he put effort into it. He never hired David Black.
Cleveland! This is for you!
That's the only reason I even take up for him. And I don't even want to take up for him. It's just that I feel like fans go a little bit overboard. They go unreasonable.
You gonna do that shit and not lose a breath, huh?
No, of course not. And anytime, you know, things get a little bit uneven or unweighted, you know, that's why I like to come in and try to bring balance back to things. Now, sometimes my balance makes things out of balance again because I go so far overboard, but that's just in response to everybody else. Nope, the shot doesn't count. You fucking was doing the fucking swipey no swipey. You fucking troll looking bitch. I want to smack the shit out of you. I'll smack Trae Young. I swear to God I would.
No, you wouldn't. He'll cross your ass over before you even get to 2 feet away.
I'll give him a hard foul. I would so hard foul him, yo. Like, the Knicks need to hire me as an enforcer.
Man, you cannot foul Trae Young. T. How big are you, T? You like 180 pounds?
No, not even. I'm like 165. That's about.
Man, you ain't
but
nobody on nobody.
But that's how much Trae Young weighs. He's 165 pounds. We weigh about the same.
No, he don't.
Yeah, he does.
He probably won. He weighed more than that, man. He only know 165.
Cause him and John Morant are like light as fuck. Okay, maybe like 175. 185.
But they athletes. They like
I used to be a soldier.
Over 6 feet tall.
I'm okay with that.
You okay with getting beat up by an athlete?
Oh, I'm perfectly okay being. Listen, if I had to get beat up by anybody, I'd rather get beat up by an athlete than a fucking civilian. Okay. Like, if I'm gonna get beat up, I want you to be a professional in something, not just accounting. Okay. I don't want to get beat up by somebody's secretary. I want to get. If I get beat up, I don't want to be by an athlete or former service member.
I'm definitely in accounting, so that may not be a far stretch. I don't know.
But see, but then your service trumps accounting. And then when I say it, I'm like, oh, I got beat up by somebody that was in the service. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, after I'm laying y'all lumped up, like, damn, my nigga. Like, yo, were you in the military? He was like, yeah, I used to be in the Coast Guard. Okay, good. This works for my story.
I'm gonna make sure that button on my phone when that happens.
So let's get serious for a second, right? Let's go ahead and cut the beat. Hey, yo, DJ MyT, cut that beat. Did you guys hear about race Norman? I'm thinking you guys don't know what this is. So the NFL very recently put an end to race Norman. Are you guys interested in what race Norman is?
Elaborate.
Race Norman was the NFL formula on how to pay out claims to their former players for head trauma. And what Race Norman was doing was saying that, well, let's say Brett Favre will get $10 million for his services, while Dante Culpepper was only getting. But let's also say they both accomplished the same thing. We have to put them on even grounds here just to make this work, right? So even everything being equal, Brett Favre was getting $10 million, and Dante Culpepper was only getting $2 million. And the reason why is because the Race Norman formula was judging your cognitive skills, right? Once you got out.
Yeah, I heard about this.
And what the Race Norman said was that black people started off with a lower cognitive skills. So when it depreciated when they were older, it wasn't depreciated from much. So somebody like Brett Favre, who would have dropped from a 10 to a 2, Dante Culpepper, they're saying only started off at a 4 and dropped to a 2, and that's the reason for the discrepancy in monetary compensation. If y'all don't tell me the NFL is racist and has been racist, that's Race Norman, and they just put an end to it. And this was just started in the 90s. They recently, most recent lawsuit they paid out to this was back in 2013. And now they're finally getting away. Now they're finally abolishing it. They were no longer using this formula to go ahead and pay the claims out for their thing because they realized that it has led them to unfairly to compensate people, and now they will retroactively reimburse these people or compensate them people or their family members or their estates or howsoever. So when people are talking about there's a race issue in the NFL, right? They ain't just talking about one issue, as you can see, right? That glass ceiling for black people in the NFL is very much there. That's the reason why you don't catch a lot of head coaches. It's the reason why you ain't seeing a whole lot of general managers, a lot of president operations, because based off the NFL, they don't even have the cognitive skills like that. They never started off with the cognitive skills to be able to have those positions. They still think that the black quarterback is something that is a fucking phenomenon instead of a norm. Because, oh wow, look at these few individuals that have the cognitive skills to break down the defense. Look at these few black individuals that have the cognitive skills to be quarterback in the league and throw a ball. We don't believe these guys have the cognitive skills to run a team. So we give them the defensive side where it's all reaction and no management. This is why they can't become presidents or owners, because they don't even believe they have the cognitive skills to even be judged properly. They start off with a lower base cognitive skill than every other class of individuals that they have in the NFL. That's what the NFL just got rid of. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how much more NFL I can keep watching, B. I'm serious. Like I may have to give up my fantasy leagues and have somebody else start running that shit. Like I'm getting to the point where I'm really sort of wondering, like, how much football can I continue watching, knowing that like you're really that fucked up. Like it's really fucking with my conscience. gonna see. We really gonna see. I'm gonna take a long haul look like this summer, and I may become a baseball fan. And oh, you know what? Chill, Will. I may become a college football fan. Maybe even college sport. I may become a college sports fan because of this. When they start that new HBCU league, I'll be all over that shit. NBA Africa, start covering that league. The basketball tournament, the Women's Tennis Association, even though they don't have Naomi Osaka playing anymore. Because when they said, "Yo, we're gonna fine you, or we may possibly kick you out of our tournaments," she said, "Fuck your couch, I just won't show up. I withdraw myself. You gonna threaten me? Somebody, you gonna kick me out? You gonna kick me out, bitch? I'm the best player in the fuck. You gonna kick me out? Fuck that, I'm done." And everybody got her side. Serena Williams came out there and was like, "Yo, you know what? Did you hear this?" Serena Williams came out there and was like, I can understand how this could be difficult for the one thing that I use to help me get through these interviews is knowing that every single person asking me a question can't do what I do. So these are just questions and they can never, and like yo, she hit them with that. Like, you guys will never be as good as I am. So really you're just talking sideways out of your mouth. So I'm just here to entertain you real quick. Like, you are the dancing monkeys. And that's how she made it sound to me. Like, Serena Williams hit him with that. Stephen A went off. Was like, yo, now you know, you guys need to respect. Like, she needs to. Like, we said it here first. She needs to catch no backlash for this shit. Like, this needs to be respected as such, because what are you gonna, like? Mental health is taken way too serious these days, and people want to talk. And some people's like, oh, well, if she could play the game, then why can't she do the interview? Well, the interview is the portion that causes her angst, and I have seen people in offices that have had anxiety attack. And they let them do their jobs up to their ability that starts causing them anxiety. So guess what? If that person was doing paperwork and calling patients, or calling doctors, and calling the doctor portion gave them anxiety, guess what they no longer did? Call doctors. They only did the paperwork portion. So the people that's out here is like, oh, well, us regular Joes, if we have this problem, we have to do our jobs. No. Regular Joes, if you have anxiety at your job will make accommodations for you. Because if they don't make accommodations for you, you can call OSHA and fucking sue them. Don't be fucking stupid. And if you think that if you have anxiety issues and your job ain't going to accommodate you, that means you have a shitty ass job with no fucking benefits, or you're too stupid to understand the fucking benefits that you have. But don't downplay somebody's mental health issue or how it should be played. This ain't fucking 1922 anymore. This ain't the day when we was having fucking race norming in the world. You know, that shit has ended yesterday. But today's today, and that shit was yesterday, and today ain't that day. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Shout out to the new day. So if I'm the NFL and the players or anything else, you know what? I can see why the NFL Players Association doesn't have a good working relationship with the NFL Association. And I can see why everything they do, they fucking question. Because right now, I will question every fucking thing the NFL does. I will never sign anything. Like, I will never sign anything from you. Just fucking cock fucking banana shit. This fucking bullshit ass fucking game, man. Who the fuck? Fuck out of here. I want to disconnect you. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Disconnect you. Disconnect you. Hey! Fuck out of here. Disconnect all your asses. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. We're going to commercial fucking.
Commercial break, nigga.
I don't know how long we going.
You act up, you get
They didn't join this team
dropped.
to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, I became a soldier. didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it.
So,
brighter,
I can't say
better
this on the
educated,
podcast. My bad.
led, and
I was about to put a
equipped
hit on
than
Trey
any
Young.
team in
On the
history.
podcast.
They're doctors,
I'm going to put a hit on Trey Young on the podcast.
engineers,
Yo!
technologists, and combat troops.
I am reckless.
All prepared
I was really
for
about to put a
whatever comes
5K
their
hit on
way.
Trey Young.
You'll find them where the lights don't flash.
Okay.
And the only contract they sign
Oh,
is with
shit.
themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world. And they can respond, I became a soldier.
Alright, let's be professional. And we are back with the MyT Sports Podcast. I'm sure your host, the one and only Talented Mark Taylor, aka Mr. Energy himself. So if you're listening, that means you're listening on the many platforms that we have. I'm not taking any more fucking callers. Fuck all you guys. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to hear none of that shit. I am in a very grisly mood right now. Like, you guys have no, like, fuck.
We're getting our asses handed
I'm
to
telling you
us.
right now, I'm just glad I can't hear this game. Because Reggie Miller's calling this game.
Fuck that.
I would have broke my desk already.
Marv.
Like,
That's why I'm watching it on my phone. Just so I can hear Marv.
New York Knicks are down.
That's
by like
crazy.
16
Probably the
points.
last game Marv Albert gonna call for the Knicks, and they lay a fucking stinker like that.
So Coach K retires from college football, plays basketball.
That's Duke, right?
Duke.
Duke.
He's been
Oh,
coach-
that's Mark's college basketball team. We don't need to talk about them.
Well, Coach K was like you always get on me for not respecting greatness, and Coach K deserves to be respected for greatness. It just sucks for him that I have to talk about him while I'm watching the Knicks get fucking demolished.
Great.
So unfortunately, I'm not able to give him the proper energy or that he deserves. The phone lines are open, but I mean, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to get through. Like, we have a lot of backup today. Like, the phone lines look like they're just kind of busy with this next game. Looking like it's over early. Coach K coached only 2 teams. Do you know who he coached outside of Duke?
West Point.
He coached for the Army. That's part of the reason why there's always been a little respect for Coach K and a massive respect for fucking cock shitters. It's fucking gay. So Coach K is gonna retire. I didn't get his official record before I left. Before I was getting arrested, which is actually reckless of me, right? Out of all the things that I picked up for him, right? I didn't get his record as percentage. But what you do need to know about Coach K is 5 NCAA championships, 12 Final Four appearances, 3 times he was named Naismith Coach of the Year, 5 times he was named ACC Coach of the Year, and he has been to the tournament. You're gonna need your fingers and your toes to get to count it, basically. And he is one of the most accomplished coaches in college basketball history. If somebody called him the greatest, I came off his foot. If somebody called him the greatest coach of all time in in college, would you fight them? KJ?
Huh? Sorry.
See, this is what
I'm listening to Marv.
This is what happens when I talk normal, right? Like, I'm for anybody that's never seen me talk normal before, this is me talking kind of semi-normal.
Damn
Let me
it.
take a 3-pointer and make that shit, bro, whatever. So, if somebody said to you that Coach K was the greatest coach of all time, would you fight them? Would you argue with them? In college, just college, greatest college coach of all, college basketball.
I'm definitely not going to argue with that.
Okay. So You can say one of, you can say the best, either or. He's on a Mount Rushmore. If you want to split it into college coaches, he'll be there. Even if you had to put him as, if you had to compare him to some of the greatest coaches of all time across all sports, he may make somebody's Mount Rushmore, right? I'm not gonna say he's definitely on everybody's Mount Rushmore, but he's gonna be on somebody's Mount Rushmore, and you shouldn't be surprised if he is. That's Coach K. I don't even know if I want to talk for another hour. I want like Sonics now. Not Sonics, I want checkers. I want like 2 big Bufords and like seasoned fries.
You trying to hit it? We out after this?
I'm so over this. I'm over this podcast. I'm over this fucking game. I'm over callers. I see you calling them. Try it. Mark, no, I'm sorry, Mark. I can't take your phone call. You gonna talk reckless, and we gonna pull up to the job. You think we won't pull up to the job and do you dirty in front of you? Only because I know how we are with each other. This is a perfect time for you to poke the bear or to poke fun, and I love you. He's like, fuck you.
Man, I will come to the job and put your head inside the ice cooler, okay?
You have
keep
no
you in
clue.
there.
I barely want to continue my podcast right now.
Oh, this is so depressing.
Fucking gentlemen's fucking shit. Get rid of this fucking Paris and this fucking the Boston fucking cops and fucking Celtics. This is fucking. Did we already go to commercial break?
We can use another commercial. This nigga Trey Young is disrespectful.
So,
wait till you see what this punk nigga does right here.
I'm not surprised. He's been doing this shit the whole time. This is like, so...
We're giving the Knicks an ovation for the season they had. And this whole ass nigga does this. Wow. Give him a hard foul, Reggie.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Foul him. Hurt his ass.
He's box office only in the sense that he likes that big stage. He really does. Who they play next?
Atlanta? They'll play Philly.
No Joel Embiid. Oh my God. No. But yes, you know what? No. I can't have them advance into the Eastern Conference Championship. See, look at that. You know what? It's not even on right now. Let me just, because it's already started. I don't even know if you guys realize, like, it's like the text line has already started. Knicks fans already texted me. Like, shit's already coming through. I just have my notifications. No one in my fucking phone's been silent all fucking day. Trey Young, is that Trey Young 34 boards?
36.
Okay, he was hit these two. Thank God. I'm not gonna lie to you. Thank God I'm from Brooklyn. Right? Because I can shift my energy a little. And I thank God Brooklyn doesn't have a game for a while. So that I can soak in this for a while. I can get this. The Knicks have officially lost, and they're officially eliminated from the 2021 playoffs.
We won't be able to watch Knick basketball till about October again, so...
They didn't join this team to win championships. Become famous.
Sorry. That sounds funny
They
now.
joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history.
Fuck this.
They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash.
Nah, you know what? I'm sorry.
Dame.
Sorry, B.
I'm done.
I
I won't talk
tried.
anymore.
Honest. All the bandwidth in the world couldn't keep me contained. No lag.
Then a little bit
No
off.
lag.
In a loss.
Gonna share my talents
55
with
double-double?
Podbean Live. Always knew I'd take the
In a
part
loss.
there.
In overtime.
Just a lot later than a lot of
Hey,
listeners
Dame.
thought.
Whenever you ready to finally
That's
leave Portland,
real gap.
I know a perfect spot for
Well,
you, my brother.
Maybe not the last.
I know a perfect
Munchkin
spot for
You
you.
see, I'm not always there when you
Good
call,
mic skills.
but I'm always Dame time.
New, improved, MyT Podcaster.
I almost want Dame to go out there and put
Pot
another
down
50
now.
points.
The
up
only
on
way
the
I
board.
do a podcast for the next hour is if
Last
these Knicks
call
fans
for
in my
tricks.
text line tell me they want to talk about
Bars
this shit.
closed.
Other than that, I'm about to have
Sun's out.
a fat boy
Heard the
mix.
casino got a buffet breakfast. Don't
Checkers,
wanna go
we
far.
on the way.
Wild night.
Get my fry lover burger ready,
Tired,
B.
B.
You're,
Tired.
cause damn
MyT
Sports.
it, cunts.
Should have never get a nigga a fucking sock. I swear to God, I should have given
Jesus,
a
man.
fucking sock.
Jesus, man.
Can't remember last time I did a fucking 90-minute podcast.
90-minute podcast on a Wednesday night.
I just can't. I really can't.
B. I'm glad I ate the edible now. It calmed me down.
Good for you.
Because
See, that shit ain't coming. That shit's making me stew.
Because if I didn't eat the edible and all I did was just drink.
It's too late to get me. Sugars, if you're watching on Instagram, I'm gonna be a miserable fuck tonight. Just letting you know. I really hope you watch. I hope you really. I'm gonna be a miserable fuck tonight. I'm gonna eat myself. I'm gonna fatten myself up to death. I'm gonna eat till I feel like I want to throw up, and I'm gonna take my ass to bed. Don't bother me when you come home. I swear to God, don't bother me. I love you though. This is one of those days where I'm talking about like I'll have you go spend the weekend, the night in a hotel room. I told her that. I'm sorry. Like I'm ridiculous. I don't know.
Wild boy, son.
I don't know how to control my sports though.
Yeah. This is
It's the fucking 4-1 bullshit, man.
the 4-1.
Y'all niggas go to sleep.
A 4-1 does.
It's that fucking 4-1 bullshit. Fucking Trey fucking Gremlin fucking Young.